What's going on, guys? So in the last video, I showed you guys what I'm going to be including for you with the Stream Deck out of the box. And if you haven't watched that video, definitely check the link in the description before watching this one. But in this video, we're going to take a little bit more in-depth look at how to actually add your own favorite games into each of the icons on the Stream Deck and how to do a few other things like how to get going with the Stream Deck when you first plug it in. So speaking of that, the first thing you want to do after plugging in your Stream Deck is you want to open up a folder over here and you want to go to Utilities, and then you want to go down to Stream Deck Tools. First up, you want to run Stream Deck Installer. So let's go ahead and do that. It's only going to take a second. It's going to say done, enjoy, and then you just click OK. At that point, you want to go over here to the Stream Deck folder and you want to go down to streamdeck.exe. I would recommend right-clicking that and going to create a shortcut and just drag the shortcut over to your desktop. Now you have it there on your desktop anytime you need to access it. So I'm going to go ahead and double click that shortcut. Just going to wait for Stream Deck software to open up. And you're going to see that you're going to get this standard profile here that you get when you first plug in the Stream Deck, which is your default profile. If you click over here, you don't really see any other profiles, okay? And then if you click on up here where it says Stream Deck 37, that's just a random name that the app assigns to your Stream Deck. You're going to see another Stream Deck there that is my Stream Deck, all right? And we're just going to use that to copy profiles to your Stream Deck. So if I go back to your Stream Deck, which again, the number here is going to differ for you. The first thing you want to do to get the profiles imported from mine is go over here to this gear icon. And then over here in this window, you want to go over to Profiles and make sure that your Stream Deck is selected there. And you're going to see that there's nothing there except for the default profile. Now, if you go back to my Stream Deck over here from the list, you have all of the profiles that I've added there. So very simple. All you have to do is right-click the profile, go to Copy to Stream Deck, and whatever the number of your Stream Deck is. If I do that now, and then I go back to the new Stream Deck, you can see that now the Hyperspin profile is there. Now, if for some reason you guys don't have my Stream Deck over here, it's not appearing for you for whatever reason, I do have another way that you can do it. So let's go back to your Stream Deck. If you click this little arrow right here and you go to Import, make sure you navigate over here to Utilities, Stream Deck Tools, and then go to Backups, and then go to Individual Profiles, and all the profiles will be there. You can just select the next profile, let's say Future Pinball, click Open, and now Future Pinball will be right there. All right, I'm going to delete it just because I want to go in order the same way that I have it on my original Stream Deck. So I'm going to go back over here, and I'm going to select the next profile, copy to Stream Deck 37, then the next one, and so on and so forth until I'm done with all of them. And once you do this, you're done. You're up and running. Your Stream Deck is going to work. It's going to start up automatically with Hyperspin, and all the functions that I showed in my previous video are going to be available to you. All right, so I'm just going to finish up here real quick. So yeah, this whole thing shouldn't take you really any more than 5 minutes. So now you have that in there. And by the way, there's a screen that's kind of like a wallpaper that doesn't get included. If you guys want to use the ArcadeOne Wallpaper instead of seeing the ugly Stream Deck icon whenever you're restarting or whatever, you can go over here to General, or I think it's Devices. Yeah, Devices, Set Screensaver. And if you go to over here to the Stream Deck Tools and you go to Icons, right in the main folder here, you have the A1 Wallpaper. So you can drag that over here, and now that'll be your wallpaper. So you can set image over here, and that's it. All right, so now that your Stream Deck is up and running, you can see over here on the screen, if I go over here and select the new Stream Deck 37, and then I go to Profile and I manually select Hyperspin, there you go. You have all the icons that we just imported, and then you have you have all the other profiles as well. So let's say you want to change, some of these favorite games I added here. I have these games right here that launch straight into the game. Like let's say I press Centipede right now. Hyperspin doesn't even need to be loaded. It'll load Centipede when I press that icon. All right, let's go ahead and exit. Let's say you want to change any of those, or add any new ones over here on this other page or the next page or whatever, or you want to change the ones in your global favorites. Let's go ahead and show you guys how to do that. So I've created launch scripts for you guys for every single game that is on the system, so you don't have to do it yourself. So if we go over here to Steam Deck Tools and we go to the Game Launch Scripts folder, you can see that every system is in there. So let's say you want to add a MAME game, an arcade game, to one of these icons. So you can just launch it by pressing the icon and you don't even have to navigate Hyperspin. Well, let's go down to MAME and open up the folder, and now you have every single game for MAME. Now MAME is not as straightforward because this has the name of the ROMs, so you might look at this and say, what game is this right here? I have no idea. Well, the easy way to get around that is you open up Rocket Launcher. So you're gonna have a shortcut on your desktop, and there's also one here on the taskbar, this orange one here. So what you want to do is you want to open up Rocket Launcher, and then right here you have the name of all the systems, just like you have in this folder over here, right here. So we're working with MAME, right? So you want to look for MAME over here, or you can just type it in up here, but here's MAME right here. You click on it, and then you go to the Games tab up here, and you click this first little icon that looks like a list, and that's going to show you all the games. So now let's say you're wanting to add, like, let's say Street Fighter. Well, you can just type in Street Fighter up here, or just Street whatever, or Fighter, and it's going to show you every single Street Fighter on the system. And over here's the full name, so you know exactly what you're looking for. So let's say you want to add Street Fighter EX. Well, you click over here, and you can see that the name, the ROM name over here for Street Fighter EX is SFEX. So now if I minimize this, I go back over here to my launch scripts, I go to MAME, and I'm going to look for SFEX, right? So there is SFEX. Okay, so I'm going to go back over here to the Stream Deck. I'm going to go to the next page. You can actually just double click the icon right here for next page. Takes me to the next page. I'm going to click a blank icon here. Now the way to launch games, what you're doing is you're adding an open task, right? So over here on the right side, you have all the different things that you can assign to an icon or a button. So that is an open task. So you would drag open over to here, and then here you can give it a title, and then for app, you can simply drag this bat file right there and drop it on the field. And now it has it. Now this button, when you press it, is going to launch this bat file, right? Now another thing you can do is just use one of the ones that I already have added. And all you have to do is right click, copy it, click here, paste, and then you change this. Same thing, you can just drag this over. It'll replace what was there with the new one, and you just give it a new name. So you give it Street, let's say enter for the next line, Fighter EX. And that's it. Now, here's a quick way to test it. You can see over here on the Stream Deck, the changes happen in real time. So just press that button, and it should launch Street Fighter EX. And there we go. All right, let me quit out of this, and let me show you another quick example. And then you can I'm just gonna right click and delete that one. Delete, I can move it over. We're gonna go into how to do icons in a second, but let me show you just another quick example. Let's say you want to add, I don't know, Super Nintendo game is too easy because it's pretty self-explanatory. You go over here to Super Nintendo, and this one has the actual names of the games, so you don't have to go into Rocket Launcher to figure out what game is what. But yeah, let's say you wanted to add, I don't know, Three Ninjas. Let's go over here, click on there. Again, you can just drag this open over here, this open action, or just right click one of the existing ones, copy, go over here, paste, and then drag Three Ninjas right here to the app field, drop it, and then just, if you wanted to change the name, you can. It's already pretty much set for you there on this one. There you go. And that's it. Now if you double click, or you can actually also test it from here, I believe. Let me see if I double click it. You can't. All right, so you do it on the actual Stream Deck. So now that should launch Three Ninjas. So very, very easy, right? Yeah, so let's do another MAME game since that one's a little bit more confusing. So again, you open up Rocket Launcher, you look for MAME over here on the left, you click on MAME, you click the big games tab up here, and you click this little list icon right here. You want to make sure that you delete whatever previous search query you had on there. So that needs to be blank. Click the little list icon, and let's say you want to add PacMan. Type in PacMan. Not seeing the one I want because I put a space, so maybe without the space. And there you go. Now you have all these different PacMans that you can add. And, you know, obviously the one that just says PacMan with nothing else besides Midway, which is the manufacturer, it's going to be the one you want. So for the good old regular standard PacMan, it's going to be, the name's going to be PacMan. So you go back over here, go to MAME, and look for PacMan right there. I'm going to just go over here, drag this open to the icon, and then drag PacMan over to the app, drop it, puts the full field in there. I'm going to edit the name to make it look prettier. There we go. All right, so now that game is added. Now you do the same thing if you wanted to add this to any other place. Like if we go back to the main page over here and you go to global favorites, again, same exact process right here. These are all games I've added for you. You can replace them, you can leave them, just go to the next page and add more. Now, I want to point something out here. This over here, if we go back here, you can see that there are numbers down here because these are real pages, right? Like these are real pages that the Stream Deck allows you to have. When you click on this icon here, it's actually going to the next page. And then you can click, you can keep adding pages right here, all right? Up to 10, I believe. Now this here is a folder. You can see that it says content 14 items because what I did there is, let's say we go over here to a blank icon. I go over here to the right and I look for folder. Where is folder? Here we go, create folder. I drag that over there. Now that is a folder. If you go into the folder, then you can have whatever else you want in here. But you can see that it only lets you add this many icons. There's no next, there's no way to add a page or anything. You can only add this many, and then you go back and you're in the previous profile where you have all the different pages. Well, what I did over here is I tricked it so that it looks like you have pages. So we go into global favorites. Again, I added this. Normally it would have looked like a folder, the icon, but then what I did is I came over here and I clicked this little plus sign. And then over here, I went to the default icons, scroll down, and I can change that to an arrow. All right. So I changed the folder icon, which let's say looked like this, right? Let's make believe that's a folder. I click the arrow, made it into an arrow. So now what happens is it looks like it's a page. When I click on that, it takes me to the next page. And, you know, you'd have no idea whether this is a folder or not, because it looks like it's a page. Then here I added another folder again, and I made it look like a arrow. So again, it just looks like it's a different page. So it's a little trick to make it look like you have pages when it's actually just folders. All right, so you can just add whatever games you want in here, and you can just change these and add to them the same way I just showed you before. All right, so I'm going to show you guys how to add icons in a second, but before that, just in case you're going to add a game and you find that I don't have a script for it already here for whatever reason, I'm going to show you guys how to create one from scratch really quick. And all you have to do is you could use any of these as a starting point. So let's go into whatever, Apple.js 2, it doesn't matter. I'm going to take this one. Let's say I copy it. I'm going to put it on the desktop just for now. And I'm going to right click that one and go to edit. All you have to do in here is it's a very simple command, is change this here is the system name, right? Apple2GS, because that's what I grabbed it from. You would just change that to whatever the system name in Hyperspin is. So let's say you were trying to add a game for Mugen right there. You know that that's the name of the system. Now let me get rid of the query over here that I left there before. And let me make sure you're in the games tab and click this list games again. And then you would have to look at the actual name of the game you want to add. Let's just say you want to add Bastard because I don't have a script for it. So now you know the system name is Mugen and the game name is Bastard. So if I open up that script that I left open, This needs to match exactly. So for this Apple IIgs between the quotations, I'm going to change it to Mugen. I'm even going to capitalize it, even though I don't think you have to, but just to be safe, you can make it exactly the same as what you see here. And then for the game name, between the quotations, I would write bastard. There you go. Now I'm going to save this, file save, close it. And if I double click this name over here doesn't matter. That could be anything. So let me rename it. Let me just call it bastard. All right, double click that, it should launch bastard. And it is. All right, I just exited the game because it got loud. Okay, so here you have bastard now, and same process. Now you can, I would recommend that you keep everything tidy. So go back to game launch scripts. You would create, a folder for that new system if I already didn't have it here, or just look for it already. In here, there's Mugen, and I would just drag this in there, but I already have one, right? And then you can just, again, same process. You go over here, you either copy paste one of these already, or you go to open, drag it over, drag bastard into there, and now you have bastard in there. Okay, all right, let me go ahead and show you guys how to add some icons. Now the cool thing about the Stream Deck is that it's pretty versatile with what kind of file types you can add. If you want to add animated animated GIFs is what they are, like you see here, just look online. There's really all you have to do is just look online. A good place to look for them is giphy.com. So let's say I was adding PacMan in there. Come in here and type in PacMan, see if they have anything. And they do. So there it is. So now I'm going to just click this one. I'm going to right click it, save image as. I do have a folder in the Stream Deck tools already that you can use to save them. So Stream Deck tools, icons, and I have one for admin things, one for specific games, and one for systems. So this is a game, so I'm going to save it in games. I'm going to call it PacMan. Save that one up, and I'm going to go back over here, and let's say I wanted to add PacMan to my global favorites. I'm going to go into global favorites, double click. I'm going to go into the next page, which, remember, it's not really a page, but it looks like it is. And I'm going to click this empty one here. I'm going to drag open over to it. And I know that PacMan is a mame game, so I'm going to go to my launch scripts over here, mame. We already saw before that the name is PacMan. So I'm going to drag that over to app. I'm going to change the name over here that I want to appear on the icon, or you can just leave it blank like that. So I'm going to type PacMan, PacMan, and then for the icon, I'm going to click this little arrow right here. I'm going to go set from file, and I'm going to navigate to Stream Deck tools, icons, games, because that's where we saved it, and I'm going to look for PacMan. There's PacMan, open, and now it assigns it. You can see that on the screen it's not going to be animated, but if you look at the Stream Deck, it's animated, okay? It's never animated on the screen. Now, obviously, these pictures do not have to be animated. You can just put anything. Like if you go to Google, you type in PacMan, go to images. Let's say you want this one right here. Click on it, right click it, save image as. That's just a regular image. It's already in icons game, so I'm going to leave it there. I'm going to call it PacMan 2. Save that and go over here. If I click the little arrow, set from file, the little arrow, set from file. I'm going to look for PacMan over here, PacMan 2, open. Now you can see you have the one that you just downloaded. And of course, you cannot also just leave it without anything, just like this. And you can change the icon over here by clicking plus. There's the default icons, and there's other ones that I included in here that you can buy. You can get, these are all free from the Stream Deck store. There's also ones that are paid. There's tons and tons of options out there for icons and all that kind of thing. Once you're done making any changes, it's always good to completely close out of the Stream Deck software, close everything out, and then come over here to the taskbar, over here in this little arrow. If you see that Stream Deck right there, right click it and click on quit Stream Deck and click quit again. And when you load up Hyperspin, it's going to automatically load the Stream Deck software for you. All right, and then before we go, I know I've been talking about how to add games and how to use my previously made batch scripts, I should say. I'm just going to show you guys real quick because you might be scratching your head thinking like, all right, how do I do other things? Well, there's tons of information out there on Stream Decks. I mean, you can really customize the heck out of these things and make it your own. But just to give you guys an idea, right? Let's say we go over here to favorites, system favorites. This is a simple one. Well, how did I get it to pull up the Hyperspin system favorites? Well, if you go to my key layout, let's go to my website, which I can actually just use the button over here. Check this out. Boom. Go to my website right here. All right, so I'm going to go over here to support compatible controllers, and I'm going to go to Arcade tank stick, and here's the mapping diagram for all the keys that I use with my system. And if you read on the bottom here, it says that the letter A or the letter G is favorites. Well, if we go to the Stream Deck software and we click on system favorites, that is configured as a hotkey. So here's your hotkey. Up to now, we've been dragging this open command or action over to each one. But then for this one, it would be a hotkey. So you would create a new icon, let's say, right? And right here, let's say, and drag hotkey over. And then for the hotkey, you click to assign. So you click there, and you have to see, look over here and say, okay, A is favorites. So press A on the keyboard. It assigned the hotkey to the letter A, and then you can give it whatever name you want. Favorites. There you go. So now when you press that button in Hyperspin, when you're inside of a system, because this is per system favorites, it's going to bring up the favorites. So most things are going to be either a open action or a hotkey action. And then obviously for, let's say, these, when you go into my, the ArcadeOne icon, obviously these actions here are an open website action, right? So it lets you put a URL right there, and then you can give it whatever title you want. So if you wanted to add some other website that you visit all the time as one of the icons, again, open, add a website action from right here, and put in whatever the website URL is. And now when you press that button, it's going to take you to that website. All right, so you guys get the idea. It's pretty straightforward. You just got to play with it a little bit. There's tons of tutorials out there on how to add different things, and you can really go wild with this thing. But that's gonna be all for this video because I don't want to get too into the weeds. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys on the next one.